Hey everybody, Hot Wife Nurse here. I got a ton of requests to do an updated Q&A. I believe my last one was in August, so it's been several months. Things are always changing in this lifestyle, and I posted for questions and you guys sent in a ton. We are going to be talking all things content and my page, how to get the most out of it and enjoy it the best. My relationships with bulls, how to choose a good one, kind of what those dynamics look like, and then also a lot with my husband in the cuck side, chastity, the cage, and then kind of our plans moving forward. So stick around if you want to hear all about all of those, and let's get started. So, like I said, I got a ton of questions. I hope I got everybody's questions down. Every time I got one, I put it on a sheet here, so there's a lot to go over. They're not in any particular order. They're not grouped together by topic or anything. I'm just gonna go down the list and try to give you the best answers that I can. So first up here, will you do a BBC gangbang cream pie and have your husband clean you up after each cream pie? So lots of questions regarding gangbangs. I am very interested. The plan is definitely to do that. The biggest hurdle in this that I'm finding is just scheduling a lot of the times. It's hard enough to get something lined up with one bull just because we're all so busy and from different areas and stuff. So to find the right collection of people that you want to do it with is important, obviously, but then making sure that it's a time and a place and a situation that works for everybody is proving to be difficult. I really have a lot of things that I want to do and have plans to do, but I'm not stressed about trying to do them all as fast as possible. I'm young and I'm still pretty new in this lifestyle, my husband and I, so I'm not in like a huge rush to try to check every box right away. I'm really enjoying where I'm at, and I feel like if I put too much pressure on myself to do a certain thing, it takes away from the fun of it all. So yes, that is the plan. I cannot tell you an exact date, but it will definitely happen. As far as the cream pies, love a good cream pie, definitely down for that, and I do think my hubby would clean up. That is something that we do both enjoy, so yes. What do you expect from fans? What is the best way to get the best content experience from your account? So I don't think I have any expectations from fans. I'm honored that anybody wants to be a fan of mine, and to call them fans is even weird to me, because I'm just doing something that my husband and I would be doing anyway, and I like that so many people enjoy it. It makes the lifestyle feel more normal, and I don't know, not as crazy, because it's kind of a wild thing to be in. A lot of people don't understand it, so having a community of people that all enjoy some aspect of it has been amazing and has helped me enjoy the lifestyle more. So I really have no expectations. I'm just grateful for any support that anyone feels like giving. The best way to get the best content experience, I do blur my face publicly, and it do require paying for an unblurred video. That's just my way of minimizing my face out there and trying to keep it niche and to the people that pay for that experience. So that's the main thing, but just commenting, liking, I respond to everybody, so any support like that is amazing. I think that's the best way. Like I said, I respond to everybody. I do custom content, so if there's ever anything that you personally wanted to see that I didn't have already posted or I don't already have a video of, I'm more than happy, and I love doing that too. So just messaging me, talking to me, and then supporting in any way that you feel. I never pressure anybody to buy anything if they don't want to or they can't. Like, I totally understand that. So yeah, that would be my answer to that one. Would there be any possibility in the future for more double penetration? Yes. double vaginal penetration. I'm not a fan of anal, and that's just me. I've tried it, I didn't like it, and I don't really have any interest in doing it again. Of course, never say never. I never say never to anything, but it's just not personally my thing. So probably not DP, but I have done DVP and I really enjoyed that, and I would love to do that again. What about cuck fluffing the bowl? This is something I get asked a lot too. I personally don't have any interest in that. I don't think my husband does either. We've talked about it, and it's not something that he really has brought up having an interest in. If he did, I would explore that, but it's never something that I would just ask him to do. I'm more than happy and content with everything he does now. Like, he is the perfect cuck, so I really have no complaints. And yeah, I would say I don't think so on that one. How did y'all get into chastity and cuckolding, and which did you try first? So cuckolding definitely came first. Just my husband, I've talked about this in previous Q&As, but he was the one that brought it up, the idea of me sleeping with other people. He bought me a large dildo, much bigger than his cock, and saw that I did enjoy it and I could handle it and liked it. So that kind of opened up the conversation to maybe trying it for real. And so that's what we did. So cuckolding definitely came first. I would say in the beginning, caging was not something we or I ever really considered. But the more we got into it, the more we realized that I just really never craved his cock. So why don't we just lock it up and see how it goes? And it's been really fun. He enjoys it, you know, in the way that he can. But yeah, that's kind of how we got into it. Is there any potential for a gangbang, more than 2 black guys on the horizon? Yes, just talked about that. What is your birth control strategy? So also a ton of questions about this. I have not been on oral or any sort of birth control for probably 10 years now. I don't think it's good for your body. I don't think it's good for my body, so I don't take it. There is natural ways of tracking your cycle and preventing pregnancy. You just gotta figure out how to do it. So I track everything, and I know when I'm fertile and when I'm not. That will determine whether I get a cream pie or I see a bull or whatever. And that's just being responsible, you know. So that is my birth control strategy. So far, so good. So yeah. Have you ever thought about spending the night with a bull? Yeah, I've thought about it. There hasn't been a situation where that has been something that's needed or really like the right situation, but maybe. I will say this lifestyle for me is really purely physical. I enjoy meeting the bulls, and you know, the sex is amazing and all of these things, but afterwards I really do enjoy reconnecting with my husband. And so that is kind of always our, you know, what we do. See the bull, he leaves, we reconnect. I'm sure some sort of overnight situation will happen in the future, whether that's my house, their house, or on a trip. I don't know, but it's definitely been thought about for sure. Did cuckolding style life become your way of living, or is it just for the show? Guys, this is absolutely our lifestyle. I don't know why people would do this just for show. That feels so disingenuous to me and weird, but this is really our life. My husband is really in a cage all the time. I do let him out. Y'all see that in some of the videos, and then he comes out for cleaning. And yeah, this is real. When was the last time you had sex with your husband? I want to say it wasn't that long ago, actually, at this point. I want to say maybe last week there was a night that we did. A lot of the times it's because someone will want a custom video of us actually having sex. So that is some of the reason. And then sometimes just for reconnection, we do. So as of now, I think it was about a week ago, but I don't have the actual date. How big is your hubby's dick? It is 4.5 inches. Would you consider more direct comparison content on film of your hubby versus your bulls? Yes, I would, and I do like that, and I hope to get more of that. I have done that in a past video recently, but he was caged, so it wasn't truly a direct comparison. But yes, that is a great idea and something that I do hope to get soon. Do you and your hubby consider yourselves monogamous? How do y'all, or do y'all consider it a C&M relationship? Really curious how y'all think about it and if there are romantic connections to your more regular bulls at all. A lot of questions about emotions and relationships and feelings towards bulls. And please believe me when I say, like, I don't have that. I am so obsessed with my husband, and he is an amazing man, amazing person. And I just feel lucky that he realizes he can't give me something that I want and crave and he feels like I deserve. That's very selfless of him, and I acknowledge that. And I really love him, and I feel like he is like my person. So I don't have any feelings for bulls. Like I said, this is strictly physical for us, and neither of us worry about that. Like, we are so solid. But I wouldn't consider us monogamous because it's inherently not. Like, I am sleeping with somebody else, but there are no romantic connections behind it. Would you ever leave your current profession if you made enough via your content? Same goes for hubby, I guess. I have gone from full-time to part-time just to be able to do this a little bit more, but I love working. I love my profession, and I don't see myself ever quitting just because I do get bored and I like what I do, and I feel productive and happy and fulfilled when I do that. And I don't think I would ever stop, and I don't think my husband would ever stop either. He has a really great job and career, and he's very good at it. And no, I don't think we would ever quit. How big do you like it? Do you consider yourself a size queen? Who has been your biggest? What size has been perfect? I would say anything around like 8 to 10.5 is like prime for me. Let's see, I do consider myself a size queen for sure. Who has been your biggest? Probably Jigga. And what size has been perfect? Like I said, that kind of like 8 to 10.5 is really perfect. I would say Jigga is at the upper end of that. But yes, definitely a size queen. What are some lifestyle fantasies you have but haven't explored yet? Do you have any plans to explore them in the future? Yeah, excuse me, kind of talked about that. The gangbang is one that is definitely on the horizon. And then lifestyle fantasies, maybe like hooking up with a bull like on a trip or a vacation somewhere, I think would be hot, like in a different location. And then what else? I'm pretty open, but those are really the main ones that are coming to mind right now. Do you enjoy humiliating beta white boys? I do. That was not something I felt was very natural starting out this lifestyle, but I feel like the longer we've been in it, the more naturally it comes to me. And I do, like, I'm leaning into that side a lot more with my husband, like the more dominant side with him, versus being more submissive with bulls. And they both turn me on equally. Like, it's hard to explain, but I like being both. And the humiliation side is a lot more fun to me than it originally was. Not that it was ever not fun. I just feel like I understand it more now and I'm better at it now. Did you start with the humiliation, or was that something he always found arousing? It wasn't so much humiliation at first. It was more just him realizing that I could have bigger than him. And he understood that, would let me have that, but there wasn't so much like humiliation. It was more of like a reclaiming connection afterwards. But it has since progressed into more humiliation just because he has fully realized that this is the reality of the situation, and you know, it turns him on, so we lean into it. Has wearing extended chastity caused him to lose size? I do think a little bit, just because he's in it so much. I want to say yes. I feel like if he came out and stayed out like for an extended period of time, it may kind of come back a little bit. But yes, it has caused him to lose some size, I think. Whose idea was it to always keep him caged? It was kind of a joint decision, I would say, because I initially wasn't a fan of like, oh, you need to be caged 24/7. But he wanted me to be in control of his orgasms, and he would just touch his cock too much and jerk off all the time. And then like, it's like he couldn't help it. And so I'm like, if you can't stop touching your cock, like we're just gonna have to lock it up. And you guys obviously know what happened. So it was kind of both of us together realizing that like, okay, this may actually be what we need to do. What's the most intimate time you've had with your hubby while with the bull? That's a good question, and I actually know the answer. It was like 2 days ago. I was watching the foursome or the threesome? It was a threesome that I did recently, and there is a part of it where my husband is kneeling in front of me as I'm getting fucked, and he's just like touching my shoulders and rubbing my back, and we're kissing, and I just watched it and I was like, oh my God, that is so intimate, because it's so selfless, like what he does for me, and also like he's turned on, I'm turned on, and it turns us on seeing each other turned on. So that was a really intimate moment that I really am thankful for. Couple more here. You seem to see different bulls fairly frequently. I've always heard how difficult it is to find a good bull in the lifestyle, not just size, but someone you can trust, like as a person, reliable, not flaky, etc. Did it take a lot of hit and miss to find your regulars, or were you fortunate? I would say overall, I've been incredibly fortunate. There have definitely been some people that we've had to turn away, or it didn't work for whatever reason, but these are all things that I agree with. It is difficult to find good bulls in the lifestyle, especially somebody who's not like a content person primarily, just like regular people, because that's how we started. Like I had my introduction with a bull that introduces people to the lifestyle, so he was more of a content person. But the bulls that I had after that were regular people, lifestyle, local to me, and I got really lucky. Like I had 3 really good ones, like in the first few months after we started, that were regular guys, local to me, and I feel like I got really lucky with them. But there were some that were not so great that I had to ask to leave, or just ultimately like it couldn't work out because they were flaky or whatever. Generally, everyone's been very respectful. That's one thing that I do not tolerate, is disrespect in any way, like to me or my husband. So I would say I was fortunate. While I absolutely love the cleanup aspect of the cuckold dynamic, I would think that sometimes after being just railed by a huge cock all night, that your pussy is too sensitive to even be licked. Is that ever the case, or are you always wanting some gentle licking after? Truthfully, the sensitivity and the soreness kind of happens the next day if I'm gonna have any at all. It's usually the next day, right after. You don't really feel it, you know. It doesn't feel too sensitive. It's kind of nice. Like, it feels good. So it's not too sensitive. I'm kind of always down for that. So yeah. And any close calls with the cage out and about? No, I don't think so. If we are going to be like traveling through an airport or something, like he'll take it off. Or if we know we're going to be in a situation, we haven't been, but if we were going to be in a situation where there would be some risk, obviously, like, he wouldn't wear it. But no close calls yet. And does anyone not in the lifestyle know about your arrangement? I would say no. I do have 2 friends that know something, but they don't know everything. They know that there is a lifestyle of sorts, but the exact dynamic, they don't know the details of. And truthfully, it's nobody's business. This is my sex life, and it's awesome. But no, I don't think it's appropriate to talk about it with just other people in my life. So no, they don't. Okay, so I finished the video earlier and realized that I did forget a couple questions, so I'm gonna throw those in right here. Considering your background, this has been a rather dramatic shift in your sexual behavior. I was wondering if you had a friend or support system that was neutral, where you could talk about any concerns about how this lifestyle may affect your marriage. No, I don't talk about this to any friends or anything. I feel like my husband is the perfect person to talk to about it, because it's our marriage and we're together in it every step of the way. So I should be talking to him about it, and he should be talking to me about it, not other people. And so if either of us felt like it was going to negatively impact our marriage, then we would discuss that and probably not do it. What insights into hubby's sexual psyche has being in this lifestyle revealed to you? What have you learned that you probably never would have about him? His sexual psyche, probably just how much of a selfless partner he is. He's, even before we got into this lifestyle, has always been very like selfless and giving, like always making sure that I finish first, and like that's always been his priority. And this just enhances that, really, and reinforces what I've already kind of known. So nothing so much new, but really reinforced who I already knew him to be. Do you and hubby have any sexual practices that you say for just the 2 of you? Why or why not? Not really that I can think of. Nothing that's reserved for just the 2 of us. Everything that I would do with him, I've done with the bull. So probably not. And I noticed that you seem to enjoy being submissive with your bulls and dominant with your husband. Do you think that is likely to continue and become more pronounced? If yes, in what way specifically? Yeah, I kind of talked about that earlier. I do really like being submissive for the bulls and dominant with my husband, and I do think that will continue because they both really do turn me on, and become more pronounced. It's likely. I don't know in what way specifically, just because I don't really know or like to try to predict anything, and just really let things just kind of evolve the way that they will. I don't know how I could be more submissive than I already am, but I'm sure I will find a way. And yeah, so that I really think is all the questions. And then I also just wanted to add a note, since I've been sitting here thinking about it. Something we talked about earlier about getting the most from my page is just a reminder that even though I respond to everybody, there is only one of me and hundreds of you messaging me. So it is difficult to kind of get through all of that and give, you know, my attention to everybody. So obviously tipped messages will get priority. That's just the best way for me to prioritize my attention and for whoever's tipping to actually get more, you know, out of the paid. And that is all of the questions. It was quite a few. Again, I really hope that I got everybody's question. If I didn't, I'm very sorry, and it was unintentional if I missed it. And if you guys, you know, like this video, please let me know. And if you're interested in kind of regular Q&A updates like this, then I think that's great, and I'd be more than happy to do another one. But yeah, guys, that's everything. So I'll see you later. Bye.